Hello dear fans, friends and subscribers. Welcome to your regular edition of the Cricket Happening Show. And this is going to be another sensational Cricket Happening Show for the reason that the third test at Edgbaston has started off in a very flashy way as James Anderson using the conditions. In fact, it was let me also start off like Australia actually won the toss here in the third test here at Edgbaston. And for me, it was a big surprise as to why Michael Clarke, the Australian captain, did not put England to bat when he actually won the toss. It was pretty surprising, and the reason I say that is because if you look at the card here, Australia, after winning the toss and electing to bat first, under very cloudy condition, there was a cloud cover when Australian captain Michael Clarke won the toss, and look at what damage James Anderson has done. I would really say I was really surprised to see Michael Clarke, the Australian captain, take to batting after winning the toss, probably due to the overconfidence, I suppose, because they had already won they had humiliated England in the second test match, and this is what overconfidence can do. As I said, it was having a cloudy cover. There was some grass in the pitch too, and look at what James Anderson did to them. James Anderson decimated the Aussies today by taking full advantage of the conditions that were prevailing at Edgbaston in Birmingham to give a great start to this to England in this third test match on the first day, where the Australians were bowled out for 136 in only 36.4 overs. Look at Anderson. Anderson was completely, I would say, he was making the ball talk, and why not? A cloud cover was hanging. It was ideal conditions for swing and seam bowling, and James Anderson was keeping all the Australian batsmen absolutely guessing as he started swerving the ball away, swerving the ball in, putting the doubt in the minds of the Australian batsmen as to whether to play him or leave him. And then, slowly, but not slowly, but he quickly brought Australia to their knees. And to say, he decimated the Aussies today, as the Aussies were bowled out for 136. And James Anderson, look at the figures there he has: 14.4 overs, 2 maidens, 47 runs and 6 wickets. Marvelous bowling spell from James Anderson, using the conditions to the conditions to the full here. Stuart Broad chipping in with 12 overs, 2 minutes, 244. Stephen Finn bowling after probably 2 years as far as test matches were concerned after he played against Australia. Stephen Finn, 10 overs, 1 maiden, 38 runs and 2 wickets, who started it all by giving them the breakthrough. Let's have a look at the Australian card and see how James Anderson decimated the Aussies today. So Australia won the toss and elected to bat. Chris Rogers and David Warner in the middle, and in fact James Anderson drew first blood for them pretty straight away as he got the ball. A very good in-swinger from James Anderson saw the back of David Warner pretty quickly. LBW bowled Anderson for 2. Australia were 7 for 1, and the next wicket that followed was of Stephen Smith. Stephen Smith was got a ball which swerved away from him, and Stephen Smith played into the hands of Cook in the slips. He was gone for 7, and this time the breakthrough was provided by Anderson, but Finn came in and knocked 2 wickets before lunch as he first picked up the wicket of Stephen Smith for 7, and then Michael Clarke was done in by a ball which went on to hit the stumps from Stephen Finn, as he was gone to a ball which I think just shaped away a fraction and hit the stumps. So Michael Clarke bowled Finn for 10 with 2 fours, and that made it 34 for 3, and Australia went into lunch at 72 for 3 with Chris Rogers the only person who was actually looking like taking on the England bowling, as he was really, I mean what was impressive about Chris Rogers was that he could actually gauge the swing and seam conditions perfectly. As you know, Chris Rogers has an experience of playing in English conditions, and that's what he precisely did. And he also played some very good strokes, beautiful drives through the offside, and Chris Rogers was the only one who was standing there like a rock for Australia. But other than that, but after lunch, it was totally Anderson. Anderson went on to did a triple strike. In fact, it all started with first Adam Woods being sent to the pavilion by Anderson. When Adam Woods was caught by Butler with the bowling of Anderson for 16, with 3 boundaries, and then so that made it 77 for 4, and out came Marsh. Now this was the over where Anderson was completely, he picked up the wicket of Mitchell Marsh by really putting doubts into the minds of Mitchell Marsh whether to leave the ball or not to leave the ball or to play at the ball. Eventually Mitchell Marsh was sucked in by Butler behind the stumps for naught, and then Peter Neville, the wicketkeeper batsman preferred, in place of Brad Haddin, had his stump shattered by Anderson for 2, which made it 86 for 6. And then when the score reached 94, Anderson picked up the wicket of Mitchell Johnson, and Chris Rogers was still there, rooted at the crease, and he was seeing all the sorry things happening to the Australian batting lineup there. And Mitchell Starc joined Chris Rogers, and now Chris Rogers has definitely wanted to play his strokes with the tailenders for company. And then Broad came in and knocked off Chris Rogers. That was a big wicket, as Broad took the wicket of Rogers for 52 of 9 fours, but an impressive knock from Rogers, who really gauged the conditions pretty well and played according to the needs of the game. I thought it was sad to see that only Chris Rogers was the one who was actually dealing with the England bowlers in a very, very skillful way. Mitchell Starc was out for 11 of the bowling of Broad. After that, the score, it was 119 for 9 when Starc departed, and then finally the England innings wound up for 136 as Hazlewood remained not out on 14 with 3 boundaries. Nathan Lyon was the last man to go, bowled by Anderson for 11 with 2 fours, and Australia all out for 136. Anderson picking up figures of 6 for 47, as I said, decimating the Aussies there. Now, and as I said, Michael Clarke would be ruining the fact that he actually won the toss and elected to bat first. I mean, why in the world would you do that with a cloud cover hanging and there's a lot of grass in the pitch, and especially considering that it's the first day? Well, let's have a look at the England innings. England right now, when I'm talking to you, the score reads 86 for 2. Adam Lith was sucked in pretty quickly. Hazlewood making him getting Adam Lith caught by Wojers for 10, and then we saw there was a partnership. Ian Bell, who is under pressure in this particular test match, as we all know, but today definitely he has played some good strokes, and right now I do see that he's batting on 30. Alistair Cook was doing a good job too, playing well, played some good strokes too, but then Nathan Lyon picked up when Alistair Cook tried to attempt a pull shot. The ball went in the air. Adam Wojers taking the catch. He was gone for 34 with 5 fours. And as I'm talking to you right now from Birmingham and Edgbaston, it's Ian Bell not out on 30 with 5 fours. Joe Root is not out on 7. England 86 for 2. So as I said, Australia dismissed for a paltry 136. It's right now, while I'm talking to you, the score is 86 for 2. And we are into the final session here. Starc had none for 15, Hazlewood 1 for 34, Johnson none for 14, Mitchell Marsh none for 17 of 3, 1 no made and 1 for 2 for Nathan Lyon. So let me see live and see what else is happening there as far as this match is concerned. While I'm looking at that match, I would like to tell you, dear fan subscribers, tomorrow there are 2 cricket matches which are coming up. One is between Bangladesh and South Africa, the second test. The first test unfortunately was ruined by rain. I'm afraid to say that even the second test, which is going to be played at Chittagong, is also going to be ruined by rain, because there is a real forecast for rain tomorrow, set on all the 5 days of the match. So it's a big pity that we are going to see rain follow this particular test match, the second test match between South Africa and Bangladesh, which is pretty sad. And also tomorrow, as you know, Pakistan would be playing their first T20 match against Sri Lanka, and Sri Lanka has a lot of new faces that has been inducted. It will be interesting to see how the T20 pans out between Pakistan and Sri Lanka. As you know, they had some very good clashes in the test matches and in the one-day internationals, and it was looking even Stevens. Well, dear fans and subscribers, I think that really brings an end to this cricket show of mine. Today it's a bit of a short cricket show, unfortunately, due to lack of time. I hope you all would really agree with me and understand my situation. Thanks for your company as always, and thanks for your tremendous cooperation to the cricket show. Your host Ram is about to leave you now, but promising you that tomorrow I'll be back talking about the England versus Australia, Pakistan versus Sri Lanka, the T20, and Bangladesh versus South Africa. If at all rain doesn't play a spoil sport, I'll definitely be talking about that match as well. Till such time I meet you tomorrow, dear fan subscribers, it's goodbye from host Ram Studios. Thank you.